The Grand Rapids Griffins are blanked in Game 1 against the Texas Stars in the 2025 Calder Cup playoffs. Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Welcome back to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. We are a podcast brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network, and we are sponsored by DraftKings. I'm one of your hosts, Connor.
And I'm the other host, Kyle. We are a show brought to you by the fans for the fans. We are not officially sponsored by the Grand Rapids Griffins or Detroit Red Wings. We watch a lot of Grand Rapids Griffins hockey games, and we are very excited about them being in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're just diehard fans trying to give you information the Grand Rapids Griffins from Grand Rapids Griffins fans. So yeah, it's been a tough start to the playoffs. The Grand Rapids Griffins were blanked 4-0 by the Texas Stars, shut out. It's actually their second consecutive playoff shutout. There's been a total of 128 minutes and 27 seconds where the Griffins have not scored in the postseason.
Yeah, so got to get some offense together here for Game 2, but we wanted to go ahead and talk about the rest of the AHL before we dive too deep into our own matchup here. We'll get you updated on what's going around the league.
So playoffs have started, and it's a jungle. So they started out with a playoff play-in round before the actual semifinals of the divisions. The Pacific Division in the first round, the Coachella Valley Firebirds knock out the Calgary Wranglers 2-0.
The San Jose Barracuda end up knocking out the Ontario Reign. So San Jose moves up to play number 1 seed Colorado. And then the Abbotsford Canucks knocked out the 7th seed Tucson Roadrunners. So Abbotsford will meet up with Coachella Valley Firebirds.
So the Central Division playing round, we got the Chicago Wolves and the Rockford Ice Hogs, and the Ice Hogs sweep the Chicago Wolves 2-0.
So they will be playing the Milwaukee Admirals, while the Texas Stars will be facing off with our very own Grand Rapids Griffins, as Game 1 has already ended. So
let's move into the other side. We got in the North Division for the first round, there's only one matchup, the Toronto Marlies and the Cleveland Monsters, and the Monsters sweep the Marlies. Moving on to play the Laval Rockets, which was the hottest team in the league. And the other matchup there for the semifinals, you got the Rochester Americans and the Syracuse Crunch.
And then for the Atlantic Division, in the first round, we have Providence Bruins matching up with Springfield Thunderbirds. Very tight matchup here, but Providence prevails. Moving on to play the Charlotte Checkers. And then Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins fall to the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. And the Phantoms will move on to play the Hershey Bears.
Yeah, so a pretty crazy first round. And we're about one game into the second round. And these are 5-game series. The first round was a best 2 out of 3. This is a best 3 out of 5 scenario for all these semifinals. Start with the Central, which is our division. You got Milwaukee and the Rockford Ice Hogs playing, and Rockford is up 1-0 over Milwaukee. So strong start for the Ice Hogs in this playoffs.
Yeah, went in 3 in a row here, but I'm sure Milwaukee will try to bring that to an end. And then Texas comes to Grand Rapids, where we have 6 days between our first matchup and our second matchup, and Texas lays it on thick with a 4-0 start. But don't count the Griffins out of this one just yet. So moving into Pacific Division, we have the Colorado Eagles versus the San Jose Barracuda.
Yep, and the Colorado Eagles are up 1-0. Division semifinals. We have the Abbotsford Canucks versus the Coachella Valley Firebirds, and the Abbotsford Canucks are up 1-0. Moving on to the other side of the world, we start with the North Division. We got the Rochester Americans. We got up 3-0 already in the semifinals over the Syracuse Crunch, so they have advanced.
And we have the Laval Rocket versus the Cleveland Monsters, and Laval Rocket are up 2-0 in that matchup.
one more win there, and Rocket will be advanced to play the Rochester Americans.
So the Atlantic Division, last division here, Hershey Bears versus Lehigh Valley Phantoms is tied 1-1.
And then you got the Charlotte Checkers and the Province Bruin, and the Charlotte Checkers are 1-0. So a lot going on in the AHL.
We can go ahead and start our Texas series preview, talk a little bit more about what we got going on in our matchup.
So the Grand Rapids Griffins versus the Texas Stars. Grand Rapids Griffins and Texas Stars have played 89 times. They played 8 times this season. The Grand Rapids Griffins have a record of 3-3-2-0 versus the Texas Stars. 1-2-1-0 at home and 2-1-1-0 on the road. So Texas has had the advantage. They've won 5 of the 8. So definitely the underdog in this one. Grand Rapids is. All time, the Griffins have a record 45-32-7-5 with a 24-14-2-4 record at home and a 21-18-5-1 away record. So both ways, all time, Griffins have the bragging rights here. And we've played the Texas Stars in the playoffs once before. And we are 2-5 versus the Texas Stars. We are 2-2 at home and 0-3 away. We have never beaten the Stars in Texas.
Texas has put together quite a power play this year with 21.5%, where they are really looking better than us, where ours is just a 17.3%. Our penalty kill is really kind of the only thing that has outmatched Texas here, and not by much. So,
yeah. And then we have Jack Campbell too. I want to mention he actually won the Calder Cup championship with the Texas Stars as their goalie, 2018. So familiar faces there.
The last time we played them in the playoffs, Jack Campbell was their goalie. So interesting stuff there, as Jack Campbell had to come out to face his former team. Now we're going to talk about the top players for each team. We have Joe Schnively getting 47 points, leading Grand Rapids Griffins. For forwards, the top defenseman for Grand Rapids being Ante Tuomisto with 25 points. Sebastian Kosa, our lead goalie, with a save percentage of .911. And I believe our X factor going into this playoff series will be Amadeus Lombardi with his 40 points in only 44 games played. Anything you want to add about Grand Rapids here, Connor?
Yeah, I think Texas is a faster style team and high flashy goal scoring. We're gonna have to find a way to grind them down, I believe, and do something to knock them off their game. Because if you try to play that game, they'll beat us every single time. So we need to get them to play our game and grind them down and make it so that they're not right in front of our net screening our goalies, and we need to be in front of their net. We need to get Soderbaum or Michael Brandsegg-Nygard or someone like that to start being a front physical presence, because it seems like we can't get anywhere in front of their net and they're all over our net. We really need to focus on covering our net.
I agree. Yeah, both sides too, right? We need to get in front of theirs and they need to protect ours. So some players really need to step up, get a little more physical in that aspect. I agree. So their top fours, Matek Blumel, 72 points this year. We didn't even get a player past 50, so they have us beat there pretty bad. Same thing with Capobianco, got 50 points. And Remy Poirier, their goalie, with a .908 save percentage, is right behind Sebastian Kosa, which I do believe Kosa is the better goalie. We just need to get him out there to prove it and get the defense in front of him, like you said, clear the front of the net so he can actually see what's coming at him.
And if you could work on covering some of his rebounds, that'd really help. Been a lot of loose rebounds lately from him.
And then I wanted to also discuss Texas's X Factor, which I believe they actually have two. They got Arshu Haru, who has just dominated Grand Rapids in head-to-head matchups this year, 10 points in 8 games. And then I want to talk about the AHL Rookie of the Year and Justin Ryokin.
He won the Dudley Garrett Memorial Award, which is the outstanding rookie in the AHL. He had 60 points with 22 goals and 38 assists, so he's another force for them. They've had a lot of really good stars coming through Texas lately. They've had Logan Stankoven, Maverick Bork, last year. Now this year they got Haru and Blamel and this guy now. So they're really developing high talent goal scorers.
Yeah, and you're looking at isn't Jim Nill their manager, kind of running things down there?
Yeah, he was a former Red Wings guy. He worked in Detroit for a long time.
So yeah, they have a great system over there in Texas, and someone that the Red Wings, if they ever become a potential Stanley Cup competition threat, that they'll always be having to look out for Texas, and it's going to be a lot of these players that are in this prospect pipeline right now. So team to watch out for the future for sure is Dallas Stars. So going into the schedule for the Grand Rapids Griffins versus the Texas Stars, game 1 has already been played, April 29th on a Tuesday, so pretty limited. I thought the 5,000 fans that made it down there did a pretty good job. So hopefully they can do the same on Monday, where they return 6 days later to the van to get our second home game in, where it will be a margarita Cinco de Mayo special, looks like. So there'll be margaritas in stock and some tacos, some street tacos. Yeah, so that's our Texas promotion, I guess. And then Friday, 5/9, we got to go to Texas Stars HEB Center in Cedar Park, and that's just going to get interesting. I'm sure it's going to sell out on a Friday night down in Texas for a playoff game.
And Saturday.
And then back-to-back games. So I would say this game 2 here is a must-win for Grand Rapids Griffins.
Yeah, and then we're going to have to win one here and then go to Texas and win 2. So that's going to... Our odds here are not good. We really needed to win that first game, but it's done before. The last time the Griffins were shut out in an opening series, they won the Calder Cup. And that was in 2013. They got shut out in the first game versus the Houston Astros. They went the distance to 7 games, went on to win the Calder Cup. So maybe we repeat history here.
Yeah, and if the Griffins can push this to a game 5, it'll be a Monday. So hopefully after the weekend, all of the local residents will be too occupied, and the arena size or the volume will shrink for the fans. And yeah, if we can get it to a game 5, maybe the Griffins have a chance at this.
Yeah, I think that's our best bet is to get to game 5. We have to win at home. If we don't win this next game, I don't think we're going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be pushing for sure. So another thing we want to point out is the equipment manager matchup that we have. Obviously, we have Dog Thompson, but we also have the return of Charlie Kaiser, Bob Kaiser's son, and he left Grand Rapids last year as the assistant equipment manager, traveled to Texas to be the lead equipment manager. So we also have a matchup there. We'll keep that one on the eye.
Apprentice versus Master.
We'll go ahead and talk about DraftKings and get into the game review of Game 1 versus the Texas Stars. The NBA 82 game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for the high-stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw-dropping plays. I can't wait. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40, or more? That's your call. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
Tuesday, April 29th, the Grand Rapids Griffins and the Texas Stars battled each other in the first game of the Calder Cup Playoffs 2025 edition. We have $2 beer, $2 dogs for every playoff game. Let's get into this one.
Early on, we got some energy as there's an octopi on the ice before the puck is dropped. I thought with the 5,204 fans that were recorded, that the building was pretty good compared to last season's Ice Hog game on a Wednesday. So,
Yeah, and it seemed like there wasn't as much promotion for this game. Last year, it was like the first time we were in the playoffs, so we got to that game, and me and Kyle were actually kind of disappointed at the turnout for the Griffins opener. But turns out this was much different. The fans actually were the ones with the energy here at this game.
yeah, and even after 2 goals, it seemed like they were still going, even as we had a guy start the wave down in the lower bowl and it traveled all the way around the arena a couple times. I was shocked. So, congratulations to that guy for real.
Yeah, the energy, the playoff energy was there, even on a weekday. But let's get into the game. We had Sebastian Kosa starting in goal.
Yep, Remy Poirier in net for the Texas Stars. So the game started off with a lot of energy for the Griffins, as we were talking. The fans kind of worked them into it, but Remy Poirier made some huge saves early on. Lombardi had a great chance early and just couldn't get it in. I believe Dries had a tip in front of the net that couldn't get in, but unfortunately, they answered back. Stars immediately score early on in this first period.
They kind of get a break into our zone after our aggressive play style. They kind of get behind us a little bit. Kyle Capabianco at the point, he goes up and he makes a long shot to a covered net, a crowded net, and the puck squeezes through, and he gets his first goal of the playoffs.
Yeah, and before the shot, he made a fake shot where Austin Watson kind of went down on a knee to block it, and he held onto that puck and went right around him and made that shot where I don't know if it went off Vlinder or somebody in front of the net, but it definitely bounced and went right in behind Kosa. So unfortunate first goal there, and then we get another just amazing Poirier save here early in the first as the Griffins were really fighting to get some energy.
So the second goal scored by Curtis McKenzie, Mate Blumel, and Justin Reicherwin at 6:45. Soderbaum kind of lost it at the center ice area. Axel Sandin-Pellika had to go cover his guy. They kind of went around Rafferty, and then Soderbaum can't hustle back to cover the guy, Curtis McKenzie, and he scores.
Yeah, honestly, Blumel just straight up got in and kind of was burning Rafferty and then touch past it right underneath his stick. And yeah, Soderblom just couldn't get back to catch Curtis McKenzie. McKenzie taps it in behind Kosa. So Kosa had to go side to side there. You almost can't blame him for this one, but you'd love to see him make this save in the playoffs. That'll kind of wrap up the first period as it was 2-0. Things were rough. Michael Careau with a tripping penalty, and the Griffins did have a power play, but were unsuccessful. Going into the second period.
Yep, second period. Griffins do come out with energy, but they end up getting a penalty. We got Josiah Didier for tripping, and then on the power play, they kind of make easy work. It kind of, the only way I can describe it is like a pinball machine going around our defense right into the goal.
Yeah, like they knew what they were doing with the pinball machine too. So Matic Blumel again gets control on this power play, puts it right down to the goal line on the left side of the net, and Cameron Hughes simply touches it right to the middle of the ice where all of the Texas Stars goals were, right in front of the net. So tack another one on.
Yep, it was like I said, a tic-tac-toe +2 because it kind of bounced all around. Wallander was kind of in like a state of confusion. He didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah, and then the Griffins will quickly give up another goal about 3 minutes after that as Tommy Berglund gets a shot from the point that is tipped in front by Emilio Pettersson. Down low, gets up high, beats Kosa, and that one will get Kosa pulled in this first game of the playoffs here. Jack Campbell plays his former team, his former Stars, where he won the 2018 Calder Cup championship. So Jack Campbell comes in and really starts to shut down Texas Stars as the second period winds down. Both teams collect 12 shots. The Griffins unable to beat Remy Poirier. As we go into the third period, Jack Campbell holds tight. doesn't allow any more goals on 8 shots, but Grand Rapids only musters up 8 more shots on Remy Poirier, and Remy Poirier just destroys any chance of comeback that we had. He actually comes out of the net to attack Andre Becker at one point. Just my opinion, we really got outmatched in the goalie department in this one.
Yeah, and it seemed like every time we'd cross the line, like even or we had a breakaway, we'd always seem like we're passing it. We need to shoot some pucks sometimes. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, we had some shots from the point. I mean, Sandin-Pellika tried to put a couple. There was a touch shot that missed the net, but some of the shots he was putting out there just were weak. They weren't going to make it. And in this league, you can't just kind of shoot the puck willy-nilly at the net. They don't make it. These guys are not scared to block shots. And if you don't put some heat on them, they're not going to get out of the way. So,
Yeah, I've seen a lot from Axel Sandin-Pellika that's been really good. But also I've seen some bad. Like he loses possession at the point quite a bit. It happened multiple times. And like you said, he kind of takes these random shots. It's almost like the Edmondson thing, but it's like in the offensive zone, and it's just like you're shooting right into a guy. They're getting possession and they're getting a break. That might work in the SHL, but like you gotta clean it up a little bit here in the AHL. And then Michael Brandsegg-Nygard, who everyone else probably wants to hear about, he didn't do too much crazy to talk about. He had some really good physical plays and some hard shots, but honestly, he wasn't doing much for you to be watching him. He just didn't have much of a presence out there.
yeah, I believe his hard shots that he took missed the net, so they didn't actually register as shots. So, yeah, and across the board here, if you're looking at this roster at the box score, I mean, Belinder's out there for 2 goals against. Amadeus Lombardi actually looked like the best player for the Griffins. He looked like he really wanted it this year. He really wants to push the Griffins, and 5 shots and was a ±0. So leading the way. Really like to see that from the kid.
Yeah, so some key scratches. Ante Tuomisto did not play in this game, and he's another guy who blasts it and has really good defense. I know sometimes he kind of stares the puck down pretty badly and lets it come right to him in the defensive zone at times, but I think he's been one of our best contributors this year. I was shocked he was pulled. Along with Emil Vera was pulled and Nikolai Schneishoff.
Yeah, Nizov being out was a little bit of a shocker because he's been a top pairing defenseman for us. He's kind of played on the top line, so
And then
making room for the new kids for sure.
Yep, and then there's injuries to Cross Hanas, Doucette, Alex Doucette, and Hunter Johannes. So those are some guys that weren't able to contribute.
Yeah, and a couple, rough performances out there. Like Shy Boom wasn't his best game. I don't think it was the best performance from Vlinder or Rafferty or even Gettinger in the defensive zone. It's just some rough times out there. But
Danielson also had a negative too.
yeah,
Danielson did have some good looks, but I'd like to see him start scoring some more goals, and he could be a really deadly threat here.
and then obviously Spashkosa departing in game 1, not a good sign for the Grand Rapids Griffins. I hope to see him back out there.
So here's the real question. Do you think Dan Watson is going to go with Jack Campbell, or do you think he's going to go with Kosa for game 2?
I think you almost have to go back to Kosa just due to the fact that it's your guy. This is a development process. If he's really going to develop, he's going to overcome this little bit of pressure that's put on him with this four goals in the first game. It's his chance to step back in and show the Red Wings nation that he is ready, that he can overcome small little things like this.
Yeah, I think it's very possible that Campbell does get the start, though, because at some point it's like, who gives us the best opportunity to win the game? And I think Campbell playing hot, I think he's the hotter guy. I would almost go with Campbell, but at the same time, if you really want Kosa to develop, I think you do play Kosa. But if Kosa goes out and they lose that game, I think at that point it's absolutely, you got to give Campbell the next start.
Yeah, and depending on performance, right? If they come out and we lose 1-0 and Kosa lets 1 goal in on 38 shots, I don't think it's time to pull them. I think it's more. I mean, look at like a lot of these goals that Texas scored. I don't want to call them lucky, but our team was kind of outplayed and out of position. And Kosa got 4 goals scored that were right dead in front of the slot. They were just set up for him to, if he would have made those saves, they would have been spectacular. But that's the type of stuff we want to see. I thought Campbell's performance in Iowa, the last game of the season there, that was spectacular. So I'm glad to see that Campbell is ready to step in if needed, but I think we got to give Kosa the chance here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I say go Kosa.
So that'll kind of wrap up our game view for the Texas Stars game 1. Hopefully we can figure things out, not get shut out, not lose 4-0 in game 2.
We're going to get into some of those ads real quick for those listening on audio. Get into the penalty box. Welcome to the penalty box. So in this segment, we like to end the episode on a fun note. It's our one chance to step out of hockey and put the biggest idiot into the penalty box for a 2-minute minor, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, or a game misconduct. Kyle, who are you throwing into the penalty box?
So I'm mainly throwing Griff's Vision YouTube channel in the penalty box here. But the Griff's Vision YouTube channel, I mean, they're Griffins highlights. They got to improve, man. We post a 1 minute and 30-second video, and it's just the goals of the other team. That's all they cover. And then Flow TV posts a 6-minute, 30-second highlight video. I don't think anyone's going to really pay attention to the short clip. They're going to watch the actual highlight video.
Yeah, it literally seems like it's just the goals that we have.
And they're quick, and most of the time they're bad angles. You don't really even get to see what happens.
And they don't even show the development of the play. They just show the actual goal. You don't even see who really assists it sometimes. I just think it could be a lot better. Like, there's some plays that, like, Amadeus Lombardi's made, just some, like, really cool stick moves and pass and things that aren't goals that should be out there.
Yeah, or he does it and then he scores shortly after, and they don't actually show the nice clip of him, what actually led to the goal. So, yeah, I got to throw that. That's going to be the start of the 2 minutes, but then just kind of the promotions going into this playoff game as well. I want to throw another 2 minutes on here. Just felt like last year for the Wednesday against Rockford was really hyped up. There was a lot of promotion going in for the first game back in action at the Van for playoffs, and we come back for a return this year, and it's like the fans are ready, but there wasn't much promotion.
I mean, I heard some ads on the radio about it.
I think there would have been a little bit more of a social media presence there. So moving into, who do you got for the penalty box, Connor?
So when you throw an octopus on the ice, there's only one proper way to remove it from the ice. You grab that thing and you flail it around. So I'm not going to say anyone and call them out by name. Tony. Our ice crew, our buddy on the ice crew, there's an octopus down there and he shovels it off the ice. Does not pick it up and does not flail it around. You want cultured swine?
Yep, you're right.
That should be a write-up. That should be on. He's flip his card to yellow at least.
Flip his card to yellow. No, that should be a rule. The ice crew should know. If you guys are the one to take care of the octopus, you gotta go out in style with it.
2 minutes in the box. Take this as a learning lesson and
seize your opportunities next time.
Don't make the mistake again, and we're flipping your card to red, and you're getting a game misconduct. You're out of there. I'll get a petition going around to remove you, man. Remove you from ice crew.
Done harassing them.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So thank you guys for listening. Give us a 5-star review if you liked us. Griffins play this Monday, and let's hope we can win.
It's going to be a big game. I'd kind of call it a must-win situation for the Grand Rapids Griffins here if they want to make it to the next round. So looks like the Ice Hogs have a chance to make it to the next round, and if they make it, we can make it.
And we can beat them. Beat them last year. Beat them this year a lot. I think we can. That'd be a heck of a series. We're already mad at each other.
I'd love another roast out, a hog roast.
Yeah, that was fun. So yeah, let's come down to the Van Andel Arena. Let's pack that house and let's ensure that these Grand Rapids Griffins have the best home field advantage, and we can get them their win and send them off so they can win 2 out of 3. So go Griffins. Catch you next time after the next game. Go Griffins.
Go Griffins.
Thank you for listening to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star review. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are not partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit Red Wings, or Toledo Walleye. We are not experts. We are just die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like and follow us on Facebook and X, or call into the show and have your opinion heard 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye.